Every factory floor runs on a conversation you've never heard. Thousands of sensors, drives, and controllers, talking over just two wires, one byte at a time. This is Modbus RTU. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how that conversation works. We'll cover what Modbus RTU actually is, the physical layer it runs on, the exact structure of every message, how master-slave polling works, and how errors get caught before they cause problems. If you work with PLCs, sensors, or industrial networks, this one's for you. Let's get into it. Modbus RTU is a communication protocol, not a cable, not a connector, a set of rules for how devices exchange data. It was created by Modicon all the way back in 1979, and remarkably, it's still one of the most widely used protocols in industrial automation today. You'll find it running PLCs that read sensor data, SCADA systems pulling electricity meters, and variable frequency drives being controlled from a central panel. The RTU in Modbus RTU stands for Remote Terminal Unit, and it refers to how the data is encoded in compact binary form. There's also a Modbus ASCII mode, which is more human-readable but slower. RTU is the one you'll see in almost every real-world industrial install because it's fast and efficient. So how do these devices actually connect? Physically, Modbus RTU typically runs over RS-485. RS-485 is a multi-drop differential signaling standard, which just means multiple devices can share the same two wires, and it can run reliably over long distances, up to around 1,200 meters, with up to 32 devices per segment without needing repeaters. You'll sometimes see RS-232 used, but that's point-to-point only, one device to one device, and over much shorter distances. Here's the key thing about RS-485. It's half-duplex. That means devices take turns transmitting. Nobody talks over anyone else. There's no two devices sending data at the exact same moment, and every single device on that bus has to agree on the same baud rate, commonly 9600, 9200, or 308400, because if even one device is set differently, communication breaks down. Now let's talk about who's actually allowed to speak and when. Modbus RTU uses a strict master-slave architecture. There's exactly one master, usually your PLC or SCADA system, and up to 247 slave devices, each with its own address from 1 to 247. Address 0 is reserved for broadcast messages. Here's the important part. Slaves are completely passive. They never speak first ever. They just sit on the bus, listening, waiting to be addressed. The master sends out a request with a specific slave address attached to it. Every device on the bus hears that request, but only the slave whose address matches actually responds. Everyone else stays silent. This is exactly why Modbus RTU is so reliable and predictable. The master is in full control of the timing, so there's never a collision, never two devices fighting to talk at once. Let's open up an actual message and see what's inside. This is called a frame. Every Modbus RTU frame has four parts. First, the slave address, just one byte, telling the bus exactly who this message is for. Second, the function code, also one byte. This tells the device what to actually do. Function code 01 reads coils. Function code 03 reads holding registers. 05 writes a single coil. 06 writes a single register. And 16 writes multiple registers at once. These function codes are the verbs of Modbus. Third, the data field. This is variable in length, and it holds things like register addresses, quantities, or the actual values being written, depending on what the function code calls for. And finally, the CRC check, 2 bytes at the very end. This is calculated across the entire frame, and when the receiving device gets the message, it recalculates that CRC itself. If the numbers don't match, even by 1 bit, the entire frame gets thrown away. No guessing, no partial data. It's all or nothing. One more thing worth knowing, Modbus RTU frames don't have start or stop bytes like you might expect. Instead, the beginning and end of a frame are marked by silence, specifically a gap of 3.5 character times with no data on the line. This is what makes RTU so fast, but it's also why it's sensitive to timing. Long cable runs or electrical noise can sometimes confuse that silence detection and cause dropped frames. Let's make this concrete with a real example. Reading a holding register, say the master wants to read 3 registers, starting at address 0x006B from slave device number 1. The request on the wire looks like this. 01, that's the slave address, so this message is for device 1. 03, the function code, meaning read holding registers. 06B, the starting register address. 0003, how many registers to read, in this case 3. And then 2 more bytes at the end, the CRC check. To make sure nothing got corrupted along the way, slave 1 hears its address, processes the request, and sends back a response. Its own address, the function code confirming what it did, a byte count telling you how much data is coming, the actual register values themselves, and finally its own CRC check. That's it. That's a complete Modbus RTU transaction. A handful of bytes and an entire piece of industrial equipment just reported its status back to the control system. Before we wrap up, let's cover the mistakes that trip up almost everyone the first time they work with Modbus RTU. Number 1. Mismatched serial settings. Baud rate, parity. Stop bits. If these don't match exactly across every device on the bus, you'll get garbage data or nothing at all. This is, by far, the most common real-world issue. Number 2. Duplicate slave addresses. If 2 devices on the same bus are both set to address 5, you'll get conflicting responses and unpredictable behavior. Number 3. Missing termination registers. On longer RS-485 runs, without proper termination at both ends of the bus, you'll get signal reflections that corrupt your data. And number 4, ground loops. Without a common reference between devices, you can get noise and instability on the line that's often hard to diagnose. Check these 4 things first, and you'll solve the vast majority of Modbus RTU problems you'll ever run into. So to recap, Modbus RTU runs over a shared serial bus. One master controls the conversation with up to 247 slaves. Every message follows the same 4-part frame structure: address, function code, data, and CRC. And now you know how to read 1 byte by byte. If this helped you understand your own industrial network a little better, drop a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments which protocol you want me to break down next. Modbus, TCP, Profibus, CAN bus? I'm listening. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.